Hi guys, my name is Mohamed Fareed. I'm a filmmaker and a reviewer in Bahrain, and occasionally a gamer. Sometimes I stream on Twitch, but I've taken a break like for a few months. I love cinema so much. I feel like it's the perfect escape from reality for me, and as well I like telling stories. So I think cinema is the right medium for a guy like me.
What would you call yourself as a professional?
Okay, I would say I'm a filmmaker. The reason for that is because I produce films, I write films, and as well, like I directed one, and hopefully I will direct more in the future. So, filmmaker is the right term because I work in different aspects in that world, and that makes me happy. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your YouTube journey.
Well, that's a very funny story. So in 2016, after Batman versus Superman was out, and I remember like it was a very divisive film, and I went with my cousins to some cafe, and we were talking about the film. I was defending it, and my cousin said like, "Hey, Hamud, like, do you want to have like a YouTube channel and you talk about films?" I was like, "Me? No way. I'm very private. I don't like social media." And he was like, "Let's just do a test." So, like in November of 2016, we did a test or like a YouTube video, which was very long. I backed out. Like he edited the whole thing. I just backed out and I took like 6 months break and I told him I cannot do YouTube. I'm just afraid of YouTube. It's too big. Let's do Instagram. So I did Instagram for a while. Then I realized that I can talk a lot about movies. Then I decided to shift to YouTube fully in 2019. And yeah, but I started putting like videos like once a month from 2017. So technically it was all thanks to my cousin. Like he pushed me to social media, and then 6 years later, here I am.
Would you consider yourself an official full-time YouTuber?
Yes, officially a YouTuber. Yeah.
Is there a consistent income in it?
Yes, it's there's an income that's consistent. Like depends on how much you like put as content and like videos on the channel, and as well at the same time you get like certain sponsors and you get certain ads from people for you like to talk about their products and your videos. So alhamdulillah, there's an income. Yes.
How do you think people can get into that field?
So if you going into YouTube specifically, you have to talk about something that you love. You have to find a topic that really is something you're passionate about. And then you have to be very patient because YouTube will take some time to grow. So my advice to newcomers in social media and in YouTube to post at least 3 videos a week, okay? And those videos should be at least 8 minutes long, okay? And then gradually it will spread with interesting titles and thumbnail. Stay true to who you are because like people will know if you're fake. So why fake it? Just stay true because in the long run, people will stay with your honest self, not the fake you. So know what you want, be patient, and be consistent.
When do you think is a good time for someone to make a full-time switch to YouTube and quit their current job?
Well, if your channel generates an income for you monthly, at least $1,000, and then as well you can secure certain sponsors, you can quit. I mean, I quit my job for a while, then shifted to become a filmmaker in Blue Steel Films. But there's a good income, but you have to be consistent. You have to treat it like a job. Like YouTube will give you as much as you give it back. So for you to get an income on YouTube, you need to make like a lot of videos, hit certain number of views, and consistency. This is what I tell this to everyone because if you put one video a month, one video a week, and you have only like 1,000 subscriber, you're not gonna grow. But if you put at least 12 videos a month, you're going to grow. And I know people that make monthly out of YouTube. I'm not kidding. Easily $100,000. Yeah,
You know them personally.
I know them personally, but I cannot say their names.
When did your passion for cinema start?
Like honestly, it was all thanks to my dad. My dad showed me films when I was young, like Terminator 2, Terminator 1, Alien and Aliens, and then like going to the cinema as a child. And I always like sometimes when you watch something, you know that this something, this content that you're watching speaks to you, and that's how I feel about movies. And specifically, like with sci-fi, horror, and then gradually, as I grew older, entered like the drama and comedy. So it just felt right, and my father was the main reason why I loved cinema. And then through social media, I met wonderful people like Ahmed Akbar, who we both co-wrote and actually produced our first short film called Window. And through social media, I met Mohamed Fakhro, which is the co-founder of Blue Steel, and they became really close friends of mine. And then that's how I ventured into that world and I became a filmmaker where I work in Blue Steel Films. It's just, it's all through social media. This would have not happened without social media. And honestly, a funny fact is when I was a kid, I didn't understand what's a producer, a writer, assistant director, a director. I only thought when I watched the film that actors are it because you just see the action, you see the people. So I wanted to be an actor for a while because I wanted to be part of the people who tell the story. Then growing up, I realized like no, I feel like directing is more of my thing because I do enjoy telling a story, but with my style, and it's really fun because I really do think cinema is a perfect escape from reality, and as well can be a mirror of life.
Speaking of life, we spoke earlier about depression and how you battled with it. Could you touch on that and how you overcame it?
Well, I realized like my depression was always associated with doing things that I don't like in my life because honestly, like when we work, like when you have a job, like say from 8 to 5, and that takes a big chunk of your time per day. And if you don't like your job, you don't feel fulfilled, you have that part of you that is not alive, that's missing or becoming dormant. And with as time passes, you feel it dying. And I feel like that's what caused my depression. I used to get depressed at least 4 times a year. And it would hit me hard. Like I would try to function and go to work, but deep down inside, I was just miserable and sad. And I went to seek help and everything, but I realized that the problem was I was getting older, but not achieving or doing what I love. And then when I made life changing decisions and focused on social media and as well focused on Blue Steel and becoming a filmmaker, I realized like, hey, I don't have time to get depressed. I don't get depressed because I'm just busy doing what I love. And that's a really a comforting fact. You get pressured at work. Like there are days like, oh my God, I feel like so pressured. But it's not the same feeling when I used to get with my previous job. Because when I previous job, when I used to get pressured, I felt like I just wanted the earth to, like there's a crack in the floor just to fall in it, and I don't want to get out of it. But now, getting pressured in something that I love, I just want to push forward, and that's a really good feeling. So I feel like for me was finding your passion, and like there's a saying like find a job that you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. I'm in that, I'm in that zone now. So yeah.
Some of your favorite films.
I mean, look, I have a video on YouTube that I specified my favorite movies of all time.
Just a quick one, just like a
Okay,
quick.
so like yeah, so my favorite film is La Vita è Bella. Life is Beautiful for Roberto Benigni. It's an Italian film. It's a beautiful film. I I, I love movies that talk about like a family and how much our parents or the parents love their child and they will sacrifice and do anything to protect that child. I have like a soft spot for these kind of films. Of course, I like the classics. I like Alien and Aliens, Terminator, and I do as well like Hitchcock. I love Psycho and North by Northwest. Yeah.
Favorite TV shows.
Oh, favorite. That's a tough one.
I know, that's a tough. Like top three, top three.
I would say Breaking Bad, of course, is there, 100%. I love Dark on Netflix. I feel like Dark is my kind of show. Um, and I would say, I mean, look, there are a lot of shows, but I would say True Detective season 1.
Do you aspire to make a Hollywood film since Hollywood movies were your influence?
I mean, it's a dream, and I know it's very difficult, But of course, I'll be open to it if I like the story, if I'll get to do what I want. Like, one of my dreams is to really direct a Superman movie. I know it's too commercial, but I love that character. Or a Batman movie, or a Spider-Man movie, or like making like like films like Seven, like David Fincher movies. But if it happens, I'll be happier. But I'm happy now. Like, I just want to make, hopefully, a feature film, Bahraini feature film, or even like in Saudi, where the industry is booming, just to make films. And hopefully, those films are good, and there are people that want to watch those films. So I just want to, basically, I just want to tell stories. Hollywood, 100%, that would be great. But if it didn't happen, I'm still happy in the Middle East.
What's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear. That's a very tough one. I mean, I know what it is, and I didn't voice it before to anyone, but my biggest fear in life is to die and not fulfilling my dreams. And I know that sounds very corny, but that's very scary for me because I really do put goals and targets for myself, and I reach them, and like, my life story in a nutshell is like a sea of changes. Like, even my career changed multiple times. I was a banker, then a teacher, then a logistics manager, and now a filmmaker. And I have like a big goal, like, hopefully one day, winning an Oscar as a Bahraini. That would make me very happy. And that's my fear, like dying but not fulfilling my dreams. And I know that's the natural course of life that most likely will happen, but it's a fear within that I hope it never happens. Yeah.
Who's your favorite director?
Denis Villeneuve. I love Denis Villeneuve a lot. Look, I have a bunch of directors like Nolan, Zack Snyder, James Cameron, Fincher. But Denis Villeneuve, I feel like, is amazing. He tapped in different genres and he was successful in all of them. Just watching like Polytechnique, Incendies, Dune, Blade Runner, Arrival, Sicario, they're totally different, even Enemy, different films, Prisoners, different films. But in every film, he was successful. I love his style of storytelling because, like, he gradually, like, gradually lets you get attached to that world, that those characters, those stories, and then when he tries to basically, like, do a twist, he is a master in deception, really. So I think Denis Villeneuve is the GOAT for me at the time being, and yeah, I love his movies a lot.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. That was fun, man. Thank you.